Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box, where I should remember to put the microphone in front of me when I speak, which I've just remembered to do. I haven't forgotten that for a while, but it's a low production show. But the music we talk about is not only high production in many cases, but all of it is very artistically great. It's the kind of stuff that I recommend you listen to the same way that I would in a record shop back when those things were part of every community. But now we've got the online record shops, which means that we're one big global musical community if we want to be. And speaking of community, today's artist that I want to talk about was removed from the general community because he murdered someone when he was 19 years old. Not a very typical start of a music career. His name was Ike White, and he was a musician. I don't know the exact details of what happened when he was 19 and how the murder went down, but suffice it to say, he was given a life sentence. Now, through various communications with the outside world, it was organized in 1974 for him to record an album inside the prison facilities in San Luis Obispo in Central California. And so he did. In fact, the prison guard is thanked on the album. His name was Superintendent Jerry Enomoto at the California Department of Corrections, and he was the one who more or less gave the green light for this album being recorded in prison. Now, on the album, Ike White plays multiple instruments, including guitar, a variety of keyboards, including mellotron. Imagine the guy tasked with bringing a mellotron into a prison. Who would have thunk it? And of course, vocals. He wrote all the music too. Doug Roach played the bass, and on drums you had Greg Errico. And together you get an album that is an absolute hidden gem, a masterpiece. And I first discovered this album without knowing anything about who Ike White was. I didn't know this backstory and all of the drama that surrounded it. I just picked up an album from an artist I hadn't heard of, listened to it, and I thought, wow, this is like sort of progressive soul, very great writing, a great production. I assumed it was done in a normal music studio. Obviously, a professional crew were brought in, but still, really unique album and really unique artist. And as I think I may have said, it was recorded in 74, released 2 years later, and it was promoted at the time by Stevie Wonder, who led a campaign to get Ike White out of prison. On the album sleeve, which I've got pictured in front of me here, Stevie writes on the liner notes on the back of the jacket, "There are many Ike Whites in this world. Let's give these men a fair making, not the color of his skin, his final fate for being behind bars." That was Stevie Wonder's message that I botched at the back of the album. And sure enough, in 1978, Ike White was let out of prison, but there was no real desire on his part to sort of jump into the music industry as a free man. He performed as a live musician under various aliases. Not too much is known about that, but the end of his life is in many ways as tragic as his teenage years because in the 20 teens, I think we're supposed to call them, around 2018, a documentary filmmaking organization tried to contact him because they were making a film about his life because just like how we're talking about it now, it's an unusual story so far as the music industry is concerned. And shortly after being tracked down and contacted by these people, he killed himself, which shows that he probably really, really wanted to preserve his anonymity. And it's just really sad that the people trying to make the film, which I know just had the best of intentions, that this guy is really someone who should be left alone, let the music speak for itself. So it's tragedy upon tragedy, but the result of which is a beautiful album that we can now all enjoy. It's been reissued on all of the Spotify's and the Amazons and the Titles and the Apples and all of that. I highly recommend it. Like I said, I discovered the album without knowing anything about the backstory. It stands on its own, and that's your evidence, Your Honor. So, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.